From the radio service of Blaze Communications Network Incorporated, good morning and welcome to Blaze News Point. 45 minutes of news about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our global village. Today is Thursday, December 4th, 2025. My name is Menso Mendy presenting this edition of the program. Stories topping the headlines. Former President Eddie Johnson Sirleaf calls for stronger, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai underscored the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results as World Bank launches its five-year country partnership framework for Liberia. Governor of Liberia dismisses recent elections by Bowman County Senator Edwin Sino, criticizing the Unity Party fundraising program, describing the senator's statement as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. And away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament accuses British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental discussion while training in the country. The news bulletin, the voice of those making the news post, our package onto this presentation. But first is Stephen Talu and the news bulletin. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Mendy, and good morning, Liberians. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is calling for strong, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to help bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Her statement comes in the wake of a military takeover in the country, during which soldiers arrested the sitting president, further deepening political instability in the West African nations. Speaking on State Radio Tuesday, Madam Soli stressed the urgent need for the united and democratic Africa that is capable of building and strengthening its own political institutions without dependence on external intervention. According to her, regional bodies like ECOWAS must swiftly and firmly protect democracy, uphold constitutional order, and prevent the spread of military takeovers across the sub-region. She warned that continuous silence or weak response to coups could reverse hard-won democratic gains in Africa, especially in West Africa, where several nations have recently experienced the military takeovers. Madam Soli urged African leaders to place democracy and good governance above politics and personal interest in order to secure lasting peace and development on the continent. The senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai has underscored the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results as it relates to World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030. Speaking on behalf of the Vice President on Wednesday at the launching ceremony of World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025-2030, Dr. Augustine Kane said the partnership framework gives Liberia prepare for progress. He further emphasized that job creation must move from a bank and inspiration to a national emergency priority, adding by calling on the World Bank Group and all development partners to work together to design immediate workable youth centers in order to provide dignified employment. According to Dr. Connor, youth frustration should not become a barrier to the country's collective progress. Instead, transfer it into energy that will build roads, cultivate agriculture, power industries, and drive innovation. Meanwhile, presenting World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030, the country manager Georgia Wallen said the framework 2025 and 2030 single focus is building a foundation for more and better works in Liberia. She further explained that jobs are the surest pathway to prosperity, the height of the present AEID, and also achieving World Bank group mission and vision. While in the added, reaffirming the group's commitment to collaboration, consultation, and partnership. The government of Liberia has responded to comments made by Bomi County Senator Eddie Melvin Snow, dismissing his assertions about the Unity Party-led administration as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. Addressing Tuesday's regular press briefing at Ministry of Information, Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs Daniel Sano said Senator Snow's statement amount to blind criticism and fail to reflect the realities of the government's current development initiatives. Mr. Sano argued that Senator Snow's public remarks are inconsistent with his own political behavior, referencing recent groundbreaking ceremony of the Opposition Congress for Democratic Change, during which Senator Snow donated 10,000 United States dollars. According to Snow, the senator's financial contribution to an opposition event contradicts his recent negative statements about the government. The deputy minister says such inconsistencies raise a concern about the senator's political motives and credibility, noting that the leaders must demonstrate clarity and sincerity if they wish to contribute meaningfully to national discourse. Senator Snow had earlier criticized the ruling in the party's December 6th fundraising program, arguing that such events will not address what he called the bread and the butter issues that Liberians are currently facing. Deputy Managing Director of the National Transit Authority, Mayor Cephas, says the institution will not receive any funding from the Unity Party nor will aid to provide buses to transport partisans to the party's December 6th homecoming program. Speaking Tuesday, Monrovia Cephas stressed that the Unity Party must take its own transportation arrangements through commercial means, including the option of hiring Kilobina buses or other private services. He noted that under no circumstances will state-owned buses be assigned to move supporters for the event. C4 said the decision is intended to avoid public perception that the ruling Unity Party is using government's assets for political activities, emphasizing that the NTA must remain professional and neutral. At the same time, C4 explained that the NTA remains open to renting buses to other political parties, provided such requests are formalized and handled fairly, which with no discrimination. He maintained that the policy is consistent with the NTA's operational guidelines. And meanwhile, CIFA is calling on the Unity Party partisans to proceed to the party headquarters with their t-shirts for printing and $5 for their party ID cards. He clarified that the December 6th homecoming served as a fundraising initiative for the party. The Painesville City Corporation, PCC, has launched a full-scale investigation into the disturbing incident that took place earlier on Wednesday in a red light commercial market. The situation involves one of its officers identified as Solomon Bwaka and 8 months pregnant street vendor. According to the PCC spokesperson Jeremiah Dijen, Officer Bwaka was enforcing city ordinances that restrict street selling in certain high traffic commercial zones, something he said led to the confrontation between the officer and the pregnant lady. According to the general medical authorities at the JFK have confirmed that she is in stable condition and is undergoing proper treatment and monitoring. Meanwhile, family members of the woman, along with several marketeers, are calling for justice, demanding that the PCC takes a decisive action against the officer if found liable. The family also confirmed that the victim and her unborn child is in stable conditions and are responding to treatment. In a related development, authorities at the Painesville City Corporation have suspended Officer Solomon Elabuaka of the Painesville City Police Department pending the outcome of a full investigation. The action comes after an incident involving Officer Buaka and the Panic street vendor which resulted in the woman being rushed to the John F. Kennedy Memorial Hospital. The victim, 39-year-old Fatu Kamara, is said to be in stable condition and responding to treatment, according to PCC. Officer Bwaka has been turned over to the Liberia National Police for a comprehensive investigation to determine the circumstances surrounding the altercation. The corporation reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining professionalism and accountability within its law enforcement arm and assured the public that appropriate measures will be taken once the investigation is concluded. The Civil Service Agency, in partnership with Afriland First Bank, will on Thursday, December 4, launch two new financial products aimed at improving the welfare of Liberian civil servants across the country. The financial packages include a long-term salary loan scheme with a repayment period ranging from 3 to 5 years, a short-term salary loan scheme repayable within 3 months. Speaking on a local radio station in Monrovia on Wednesday, the CSE's director of reform and policy, Morbai Yagba, said the initiative is designed to ease the financial burden on struggling civil servants and enable them to invest their salaries in business ventures and other income generating opportunities. Jogba disclosed that the offer includes a 50% salary advance with a 3% interest rate payable over 3 years. Additionally, employees may access 33.3% salary advance and multiply it by 3 to be repaid over a 3-month period, also at 3% interest. He described the extended salary loan facility of 36 to 60 months as the most significant competent on the arrangement with Affiliate First Bank, noting that eligible civil servants can now access long-term loans repayable between 3 and 5 years. Meanwhile, Affiliate First Bank Liberia's marketing officer Samuel Bimon said the partnership with the CSA seeks to address limited access to finance among low-income earners in Liberia. Bimon described the collaboration as a major opportunity to extend essential financial services to hundreds of citizens or civil servants nationwide with flexible repayment timelines that ease financial pressure. Liberia's head of delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament, Edwin Snow, has condemned the recent events in Guinea-Bissau, stating that what the court does not amount to a military coup. Speaking before the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja following the election, the observational mission he led to Guinea-Bissau Snow disclosed that one of the key pressures placed on the Guinea-Bissau military was to allow the announcement of the election report. If it revealed that the Electoral Commission was escorted by armed men to announce to the world that the election results and computer system have been destroyed, and incidents no stress that does not qualify as a military coup. According to Bome County lawmaker President Umaru Sissoko Embalo was the sole beneficiary of the situation while opposition leaders were arrested by the militaries. No further indicated that although the election commission did not officially release the results, or international observers and monitoring bodies deployed in Guinea-Bissau have copies of the tally sheets. He therefore urged ECOWAS to act swiftly. In the related development, Bone County Representative and Liberian ECOWAS parliamentarian Muhammad Briggs Mensa has voiced cause for dissatisfaction over practices and decisions that continue to marginalize women in politics across the South region. Representative for the family of District Number 7 in Bond County has issued a public condemnation of Ghana Union, accusing the consortium of persistently violating the social and community development commitments as spelled out in its mirror development agreement with the government of Liberia. Speaking on behalf of residents of Fuma and Sanoye districts, home to companies bomb mines operations or represent the formula said China Union continues to extract and transport iron ore to China while failing to deliver the essential benefits promised to impacted communities. He described the company's conduct as an affront to local citizens and a breach of both the spirit and letter of its bidding agreement. According to the lawmaker, communities have endured years of unfulfilled assurances since China Union took over the bomb mines concession. He noted that the MDA requires the company to provide meaningful employment opportunities for local residents, invest in community development programs, and support key infrastructure such as roads, schools, and health facilities. However, he said these obligations remain largely unmet despite the ongoing large-scale mining and exports activities. He stressed that residents have grown increasingly frustrated with the widening gap between the company's commitments and the live reality in affected towns and villages. And away from home, Kenya's parliament has accused British studios of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental destruction while training in the country. The report detailed harrowing testimony from communities in Laikipia and Samburu counties near the military training bases. The British soldiers are accused of invading accountability by refusing to cooperate with the parliamentary investigation. The UK High Commission in Kenya said it regretted that its submission was not reflected in the report's conclusions and affirms its readiness to investigate the allegations on our jurisdiction fully once evidence is provided. Bliss News.
Steven Tadud with the news bulletin. The foreign development is indeed a regular feature on Blaze News Point. To get off the trending news about Liberia or Africa and the rest of our one world, you are just in tune to Blaze News Point. These are stories topping the headlines. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf calls for stronger, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Political leader, that's the senior political advisor to President Joseph Boycott, underscores the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results as World Bank launches its 5 year country partnership framework for Liberia. Governor of Liberia dismisses recent assertion by bombing County Senator Edwin Seno, criticizing the Unity Party fundraising program, describing the senator's statement as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. In a way from Liberia, Kenya's parliament accuses British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental discussion while training in the country. The voice of those making the news and sports are still ahead, but this break, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Blaze the News Point. We'll now take our first development. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is calling for strong, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to help bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Her statement comes in the wake of a military takeover in the country, during which soldiers arrested the sitting president, further deepening political instability in the West African nation. Speaking on state radio Tuesday, Minister Sirleaf stressed the urgent need for a united and democratic Africa that is capable of building and strengthening its own political institution without dependence on external intervention.
I can't say that I know what's going on, but I can say that this is most unfortunate. That Africa has come a long way in promoting democracy. And while we have had some setbacks recently, with some of our countries that there have been fractures in the African Union and in ECOWAS, we still have the majority of our countries that are meeting international standards of good governance and continue to promote decent development. I don't think the Guinea-Bissau example is one that has thrown Africa off course, as neither did the Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, not thrown Africa. So, but what I would like to see the leadership of ECOWAS stand up very quickly and get its act together. But the mediation has required to work with all of them to make sure they see the purpose, the advantage of being unified. In today's world, out there, the environment that we all face, it's time for Africa to be able to pull together, make sure that we preserve our own systems, we subscribe to those things and respond to the needs of our people, given our young population, given the fact that we still have a long way to go to be able to compete competitively in this work. My call is to ensure that all of our leaders in the African Union, leaders in ECOWAS and other regional institutions, that they pull together and try and do even more than what they do now, try to ensure this continental unity.
That's the voice of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf calling for strong, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to help bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. The senior political advisor to President Joseph Boyka has underscored the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results is released to World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030. Speaking on behalf of the Vice President on Wednesday at the launching ceremony of the World Bank Country Partnership Framework, Dr. Augustine Connor said the partnership framework gives Liberia's appropriate for progress. The photo emphasized that job creation must move from being an aspiration to a national emergency priority, adding by calling on the World Bank Group and all development partners to work together to design immediate workable youth centers in order to provide dignified employment.
The Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030 gives us a blueprint for progress. But what we need now is urgency in implementation, urgency in investment, and urgency in delivering results that our people can feel. Let us remember in this room that job creation must move from being an aspiration to a national emergency priority. And I call on the World Bank Group and all development partners. Let us work together to design immediate, workable youth center solutions that provide dignified employment today, not years from now. To the World Bank Group, the IFC, our international partners, and global investors, Liberia extend gratitude and a heartfelt appeal. Stand with us, work with us, help us confront the unemployment crisis that threatens the dreams of an entire generation. Let us not allow the frustration of our youth to become a barrier to our collective progress. Let us transform their frustration into energies that will build roads, cultivate agriculture, power industries, and drive innovation. We must match Liberia's optimism with action, determination with resources, and vision with concrete commitments that create jobs, stimulate growth, and expand opportunities. To officially launch the World Bank Group Liberia Country Partnership Framework 2025 and reaffirm our government's commitment to its full implementation.
Meanwhile, presenting World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030, the country manager George Wallen said the framework 2025 to 2030 single focus is building a foundation for more and better jobs for Liberia. She further explained that jobs are the surest pathway to prosperity. the height of the president aid and also achieving World Bank Group mission and vision.
The World Bank Group partnership with Liberia over the next 5 years will have one single focus: building foundations for more and better jobs in Liberia. Everything we do, say, or write over the next 5 years will be motivated by this focus around jobs. Because jobs are the surest pathway to prosperity. Jobs are at the heart of the AAID, and jobs are also at the heart of achieving the World Bank Group mission and vision. Foundational infrastructure, which includes human capital, the regulatory environment, so a governance environment that is fostering of jobs, and then, of course, private investment. So, over the next 5 years, we're going to focus on four core outcome areas: reducing learning poverty. And there will be a heavy focus on foundational learning, including in kindergarten through sixth grade, literacy and numeracy. This is the foundation, but also skills building on various levels. Second is increasing energy access. Energy is an enabler for everything, from healthcare to business. Third is fostering accountable and effective governance. Governance really matters.
That's the voice of George Wading, the World Bank country manager, explaining that jobs are the surest pathway to prosperity, the heart of the president agenda, and also the achieving World Bank Group mission and vision in the country. Earlier on, you listened to the voice of Augustine Cannon, the senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai, underscoring the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results is released to World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030. The governor of Liberia has responded to comments made by Bomi County Senator Edwin Sino, dismissing his assertion about the Unity Party-led administration as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. Addressing Tuesday's regular press briefing at the Ministry of Information, Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs Daniel Sando said Senator Sino's statement amounts to blunt criticism and failed to reflect on realities of the government's current development initiatives. Minister Sando argued that Senator Sino's public remarks are inconsistent with his own political behavior, referencing the recent groundbreaking ceremony of the opposition Congress. 10,000 United States dollars.
But that does not create room for blunt criticism and to some extent try to present a distorted picture of what is happening in the country. So one member of the legislature has gone, it's what I was free. We listened to him in Bome County saying that the construction of a political party office cannot put bread on the people's table. Political parties are the building block of our democracy, except for you, the journalists who are supposed to be independent. But even the Constitution guarantee you that right to politically affiliate. So that is how important political parties are in our democracy. That our constitution recognizes the right to political affiliation. Partisans have the right to contribute their money to what they deem fit in support of the cause or the political ideology. So you come because the United Party is organizing a program on December 6th and they are raising funds. You see it now as an opportunity to buy more of that initiative. See, political party headquarters can put food on people's table. But this is the same man. When our friends from the CDC were breaking ground for the party headquarters, he was there. He didn't get a cent, but he donated $10,000 to that initiative. $10,000. Think about it. He represented for Bome County. So it's 10,000 now in order to put well on the people's table in Bome County. Okay, you come to Morocco, you say, well, CDC construction. But when all the parties come together and say, we want to support our political party, you say it is wrong. They can't put well on the people's table. We have to say this to expose how dwarf-faced some of these politicians are. One day you're that way, and another day you're this way. So it's good that you can take $10,000 and contribute to the construction of another political party. Nobody questions you. Nobody questions you. But when one group of people come out to say, we want to go to contribute to our party headquarters so that we can avoid being thrown out Just in case we're not in power tomorrow, or they're being thrown out anytime. We want to build our own party, but they say it's wrong. Can't put bread on people table. What a contradiction. Go to Bombay County, you paint basketball court. Now painting basketball court can put bread on the people table. What job did the CDC create? Today, come on the radio, go on Facebook, you're questioning the ability of this government.
That's the voice of Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs at the Ministry of Information, Daniel Sando, responding to comments made by Bowman County Senator Edwin Sando dismissing his assertion about a Unity Party-led administration as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. Well, at this juncture, we don't go to Studio B, where Stephen Talu is seated with the passion of last post.
Liberia's esteemed strategist from other days thanks Accra as the sole female coach in a male-dominated county beat. Her confidence in the team's readiness and focus shows a promising qualification from her zone. As the first woman to coach a male team in a national college sports meet, they embraces the honor and responsibility, marking a milestone that transcends personal achievements. Our role signifies progress in Liberian football, proving that leadership and passion transcend gender. Dean's journey began with a kickball laying a foundation of teamwork and discipline before transitioning to football, where she refined her skills and leadership. Her passion led her to coaching, aiming to mentor young players on and off the field. Dean's evolution from player to coach highlights her dedication to the sports and commitment to nurturing future footballers. She emphasizes team strength over individual brilliance, confident in the collective potential to see in Mabapulu True Network. Already, Coach Dean has embarked on an exceptional tenure at the helm of Mosrado County, securing victories in all three of her significant test matches, winning Grand Basso, River Sets, and River G, respectively. Quickly stay on the national scene where Tanga FC has strengthened their 4-point lead at the summit of the Liberia Football Division First League table after securing a half 4-1-0 away victory over FC B Martin at the moment. Momo 2 Sports Stadium in Rubber Sport. The Warriors remain unbeaten this season, boasting an impressive record of 8 wins and 3 draws from 11 matches, with the 3 games left in the first phase and a follow second phase ahead. Watanga FC continues to display class, character, and collective resolve in their push for another league championship guided by Cavlas and a coach fellow Chico. This youthful and determined squad has shown remarkable consistency and hunger for glory. Their performances so far signal a team ready to write another golden chapter in the club history. And last, the player of the month in the female category for November, Precious Okerete Gastama Chance Bright. The War Girls FC is proud to announce that Precious Okereke Gastama has been crowned the best player of the month for November. Her energy, consistency, and unstoppable performances on the pitch have not only inspired her teammates but also captured the admiration of the entire fan base. And that's the sports.
Stephen Talud with the passion of last post is indeed a record of featured on Blaze News Point. We'll not take more development. Deputy Managing Director of the National Transit Authority, Melvin Seaforth, says the institution will not receive any funding from the Unity Party, nor will it provide buses to transport partisans to the party's December 6 homecoming program. Speaking Tuesday, Monrovia Seaforth stressed that the Unity Party must make its own transportation arrangement through commercial means, including the option of hiring cater-bin buses or other private services. Silva said the decision is intended to avoid public perception that the ruling party is using government assets for political activities, emphasizing that the NTA must remain professional and neutral.
So let me say this to you, right? I made a case to the senior management that NTA will not go at the Unity Party here. We're not going to accept money for anybody for Unity Party that will come and rent for us. Let me say this on the radio. I said that because even if the people come and pay times to the price, opposition people will still say NTA people get a bus free. So they get money to rent a bus. Let it go look for Kidobin. And that will be a means of investing in the private sector to at least help the other people make some money on that day. But NTA bus will not be going to that party. Majority of our senior management team. So before the decision came, there was some accelerate group that rented two of those buses from I think the Kakata Maki area. And because they are already paid, we don't want to refund, their money to disenfranchise them. They already paid for the service before that particular decision came about. So only those group of people that will use that bus, two of those buses. Besides that, any other bus you see around Unity Party Airport or maybe you are passing to run and grab people. No MTA bus over there. We don't want the next thing people will get, besides them paying for the bus, people will be already excited, jumping in the bus here and there, and then they get something broken. So we are not sending MTA bus there. Between you and our people be reaching out. They want bus, they want this one, bus, they want bus, no fire want bus, the other people want bus, we will find other means. Our people will transport themselves through other means. We will not use that. We're not giving it to Unity Party. They're going to charge us. They got a right to carry out the cost because they already pay for the service ahead of time. And if we have means of delivering the service, we should deliver the service. This is why at this point we say we are not renting buses to any other group that will come. The reason that we accepted that is because initially it didn't come, we didn't know that it was a Unity Party event that they came for. You understand? So it was just a salary group. But later on, we calculated that it was on December 6th and we called the person. That's how we post up it. So that because
At the same time, CFOs explained that the NTA remains open to renting buses to other political parties, provided such requests are formalized and handled fairly without discrimination. Meanwhile, CFOs is calling on the Unity Party partisans to proceed to the party headquarters with their t-shirts for printing and $5 for their party ID cards.
So basically, it's a homecoming event. So there are a lot of people who will be coming home who have been away for a very long time. Some of those who are in other political parties will be coming to join us. There are some who are in other political parties who will be coming to PDA with us that day. But the most interesting thing is to see ordinary Liberians supporting their political institution. The party is not printing t-shirts. Currently at the party headquarters, we this morning we just make arrangement to have some heat press machine there. You carry your t-shirt, they print it for you. That's what we're doing. We are not printing t-shirts for anybody. So the guys are already to the party headquarters between now and Friday on the day is you will have people that you carry your t-shirt, they print it because the sole intent of this particular program is for fundraising. So we're not going to go spend huge amount of money to print t-shirt and distribute it when we intend to go and raise funds. So everyone who want to identify with the institution and take their own t-shirts there to go and so it will be to Congotan, it will be to Broad Street, it will be the Mosurado office. Currently these are the three venues that we are using. So the Mosurado office is right on the Japan Freeway. You can go there and then you print your t-shirt too. You can also go to the new day and the spot where we're going to be building our headquarters. So you can go there, print your t-shirt. Also on Broad Street, we're going to have somebody go and print your t-shirt. Let me understand. And also on that day, if you don't have your ID card on that day, your Unity Party identification card on that day, there will be several machines there doing membership ID card. And I think it will just be for $5, and that particular amount going to go towards the building of our headquarters.
That's the voice of the Deputy Managing Director of the National Transit Authority, Melvin Saffers, that CFOS pardon, calling on Unity Party partisans to proceed to the party headquarters with their t-shirts for printing and $5 for their party ID cards. At the same time, disclosing that the institution would not receive any funding from the Unity Party, nor will it provide buses to transport partisans to the party December 6th homecoming program. The Painesville City Corporation (PCC) has launched a full-scale investigation into a disturbing incident that took place earlier Wednesday in the red light commercial market. The situation involves one of its officers identified as Solomon Wakai and an 8 months pregnant woman that's a pregnant street vendor. According to the PCC spokesperson Jeremiah Dejan, Officer Blanca was enforcing city ordinance that restricted street selling in certain high traffic commercial zones. Something he said led to the confrontation between the officer and the pregnant lady. According to Dejan, medical authorities at the JFK have confirmed that she is in stable condition and is undergoing proper treatment and monitoring.
contrary to the widespread rumors that was circulating around that the couple involving an officer of the Pinzo City Police and that of a pregnant woman in Red Light resulted into the death of the pregnant woman. It is not true. The woman is stable currently, ongoing medical attention at the John F. Kennedy Medical Center in Monrovia. The Painesville City Corporation, City Police, was enforcing the city ordinances, the ones who that speak about operating in prohibited areas. It was doing the enforcement of the city ordinance that the scuffle occurred. The officer involved has been recalled, and full-fledged investigation is currently taking place. Before the day comes to an end, there will be a report to that effect involving the officer. So the Painesville City Corporation will remain committed to upholding the dignity and human rights of the residents of the city of Painesville. We'll do all in our power to protect life and property within the city of Painesville. It was just kind of unfortunate, like I said to you, the information is fake that the woman passed. She is alive. Representatives from the marketeers and that of her sister visited the scene a few minutes ago, and they came to inform the market people that the woman is stable and in stable condition and ongoing med. Even the child is also stable and so forth. There was no injuries. She was selling fish to prohibited areas. There are prohibited areas within the commercial hub of Red Light.
Meanwhile, family members of the woman along with several marketeers are calling for justice, demanding that the PCC take decisive action against the officer found liable. The families also confirmed that the victim and her unborn child is in stable condition and are responding to treatment.
I said, why is going on your sister? She said, it's our person. The child is okay. She found everything is very Now, what we hear, he said she was there, so she was talking. She's alive and there's some room for blood. She said she was everything that's okay, so everything's okay. It's all short of medical attention at the GFK. So when they show the public that she's alive, and she's doing well, and she won proper medical care at GFK. So I came this week to last. This is the police. Actually, the investigation is ongoing, and what happened is that the jail for this one just showing the this officer is looking at review of race. What I heard, because I'm looking at this, what I heard, that this lady who caused terrorists is studying there, and this lady is so both of them are doing the same thing because we got to use the officer influence to get the leader. So they doesn't know. Other people are studying to the same spot. I'm saying.
And lastly, on the news scene, the Civil Service Agency, in partnership with AfriLand First Bank, will on Thursday, December 4, launch two new financial products aimed at improving the welfare of Liberian civil servants across the country. Speaking on a local radio station in Monrovia on Wednesday, the CSA Director of Reform and Policy, Moba Yoba, said the initiative is designed to ease the financial burden on struggling civil servants and enable them to invest their salaries in business ventures and other income generating opportunities.
From the CSA standpoint, we are not only here to punish civil servants, dismiss, fire, and that kind of stuff. We're also here to look after the best interest of civil servants. So we form collaborations with entities, private sector entities, to ensure that we can form products, services that will benefit civil servants. So you may have heard about the LPA. That LPA is HO, probably even predates us, right? But that's something we've worked on. We've automated it, so now civil servants can go and take goods from vendors, with the CSA being the intermediary between the vendors and the bank for payment purposes, right? So we've done that, and in addition to that, we're now working with the banks to find products that civil servants can conveniently benefit from. So the bank approached us about this product they have that they thought civil servants will benefit from. And what is this product? is the 50% salary advance. They actually have 3 products, and which they then will go in more details, right? But because we signed the MOU with them, so we have pretty much good idea of exactly what the product offerings are. So they have this 50% salary advance with a 3% interest. So that means you can actually take 1.5 months salary every month when you're with the bank, or your salary is domiciled with the bank. So when you're paid immediately, you can take half of your salary for the next month, only paying 3% interest on it, right? That's one product. The next one is what they coin as make it quick. So if you have an emergency like house rent, school fee, medical emergencies, you can actually take 33.3% times 3 of your salary and pay over a 3-month period the same 3% interest. And the biggest one that attracted us to this particular arrangement is the extended salary loan facility of 36 to 60 months.
Well, listeners, on this notice, how we draw down the curtains on today's presentation of Blaze News Point. Before we go to a recap of the major stories. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf calls for stronger, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai underscores the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results as World Bank launches its 5 year country partnership framework for Liberia. Governor of Liberia dismisses recent sections by Bomi County Senator Edwin Sino, criticizing the Unity Party fundraising program, describing the senator's statement as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. And away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament accuses British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental discussion while training in the country. We say many thanks to our news director, reporter, editor, and correspondent for making this edition of Blaze News Point a success. Steven Tadu brought to the news bulletin the person of last post, Henry Kabasa control and coordinated the technical aspect of today's presentation. On behalf of the News and Current Affairs Department of Blaze Communications Network Incorporated, my name is Menso Mendy Abisende. Good morning and have a pleasant day.